Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. In this video we're going to showcase all Explorer Mage's 5th job skills. We'll be showing off the cool Ice Lightning Mage, the sizzling Fire Poison Mage and the Holy Bishop. Allow me to break the ice and introduce the Ice Lightning Mage. If mobbing was in the dictionary, a picture of an Ice Lightning Mage would probably be shown next to it. Now I am by no means a mage expert, but after playing all 3 Explorer Mages, the Ice Lightning Mage really seems to excel at killing a lot of monsters really fast. With long range mobbing skills such as Chain Lightning, which jumps from monster to monster having great reach, and Frozen Orb, which is a slow moving projectile that damages multiple enemies in its path. When training, this mage first uses their full map attack Blizzard, as it gives a buff that has a 60% chance to deal an additional attack which does 220% damage. This combines great with skills like Frozen Orb, as it does a lot of separate attacks. Now, what killed the dinosaurs? That's right, the Ice Age, a 5th job skill which is another full map attack. Ice Age deals a whooping 520% damage, hits 10 times and hits 15 enemies in one go. If that isn't good enough, the ground will stay frozen for 15 seconds, dealing an additional 390% damage periodically as well. The monsters in this map can't even spawn quick enough to keep up with all the damage. Okay, they might be a little bit lower level, but you get the idea. This skill does have a 60-second cooldown though. Next up is a Bolt Barrage. And this might not come as a shocker, but this skill does a crazy amount of damage as well. Your character fires 8 bolts of lightning that attack up to 12 enemies with each bolt, dealing 780% damage 12 times. The bolt will travel the direction the character is facing. And if it can't move any further, it will stay in place, but it deals less damage if it is attacking the same enemy multiple times. This skill has a 45-second cooldown. And we're staying frosty with the 3rd 5th job skill, which is Spirit of Snow. This skill summons a giant snow spirit which hits 10 enemies, does 416% damage and hits 9 times. The spirit will stay in the map for 30 seconds and this skill has a 120-second cooldown. Alright, it's time to give some bosses the cold shoulder. A Horntail does not stand any chance. Make sure to use Infinity, by the way. This skill gives healing and increases your damage. All Explorer Mages have this skill. Let's try another boss fight with Raar. I actually made a mistake in this fight. There's a hyper skill which is a key down skill, but I accidentally let it go, so I made it useless. But we defeat Raar and that's enough chilling on this class for me. It's time to heat things up with the Fire Poison Mage. This class focuses on applying damage over time, or DOT. Paralyze is one of their main attacking skills. It has less range than, for example, Ice Lightning Mage's Chain Lightning, but like almost any other Fire Poison Mage skill, it does damage over time. Similar to Ice Lightning Mage's, the Fire Poison Mage's full map attack Meteor Shower has a passive buff that gives a 60% chance to deal 220% extra damage with an additional attack when it's on cooldown. This mage is also known for the Poison Mist, which releases a cloud of poisonous gas that does damage upon cast and does damage over time for 6 seconds. The mist itself lasts 15 seconds. Oh man, I'm running out of puns already, like I'm running on fumes here. With the 4th job skill, Mist Eruption, the mist can be exploded, dealing a whooping 346% damage 8 times against 12 monsters. Plus, the more mist you have spawned, the more damage it does. One of their 5th job skills, called Poison Nova, releases multiple orbs of poisonous gas, dealing 520% damage 6 times and an additional 312% damage every 1 second for 10 seconds. And it can be detonated as well using Mist Eruption, dealing 468% damage 6 times on a total of 12 monsters. Basically, it's a full map poison gas attack. And the awesome part is that this skill can be used every 25 seconds. Another similar 5th job skill is DOT Punisher, or Damage Over Time Punisher. This skill creates flame orbs, and the amount of orbs created depends on how many damage over time stacks you have. A total of 15 of these heat-seeking orbs can be created at max. They do 415% damage and hit 5 times. And of course there is a damage over time effect that does 203% damage every second for 8 seconds. Similar to Poison Nova, this skill can be used every 25 seconds. And let's be honest, that's pretty hot. And finally there is Elemental Fury. This skill has a longer cooldown compared to DOT Punisher and Poison Nova, clocking in at 75 seconds. But this skill does 216% damage to 12 enemies and hits 6 times. A great burst skill to use against bosses or when you're in need of a quick burn. Fire Poison Mages have little trouble dealing with bosses, be it bosses with multiple body parts like Horntail or bosses with just one body. Their damage over time keeps stacking and stacking, which results in some crazy damage. I am no expert on the subject, but I would say that out of all 3 Explorer mages, Fire Poison Mage is probably the best bosser. When bossing, make sure again to use Infinity and that you use Meteor to get the additional attack chance. Use the Flame Haze skill to deal a large amount of damage and summon a Poison Mist, together with Megiddo Flame, which is a blue orb that you just saw right now at the start of the fight with Ranmaru. After that, it's just a matter of using DOT Punisher, Poison Nova, Mist Eruption, and once those are on cooldown, use your Elemental Fury and finally Paralyze to finish the boss, or just wait for the rest of your skills to come back off cooldown. I'm by no ways a Fire Poison main. As you can see, this fight is a bit sloppy. The damage over time is so potent though that not much work is needed. You could, for example, just get a hot drink while the boss is busy dying from your damage over time. And finally, it's none other than the Bishop. Bishops are the Swiss army knives of MapleStory, providing healing, dispelling bosses, giving EXP buffs, and sometimes they even do some damage as well. This class doesn't really excel at mobbing like the Ice Lightning Mage, and it's not as good as a bosser as the Fire Poison Mage, yet everyone will invite you to their party because you just are so useful. After using their full map attack, Genesis, Bishops can unleash their full potential using the Big Bang attack. Normally this attack needs to charge, but during the Genesis cooldown this skill can be spammed, which makes it your main mobbing skill. Together with Angel Ray. This angelic skill does not only damage, but also heals yourself and party members. I just noticed that Bishops go from basic holy to greater holy to ultra holy. There are some plus ultra holy heals for you. Angelic Ray might not be super amazing, but thanks to the righteously indignant hyper skill it becomes a single target attack with increased damage, which is great for bossing. Their first phase job skill is Benediction, which creates a space that empowers and heals your party members. Party members inside will heal, get increased attack speed and increased damage. You'll be everyone's favorite person to hang out with during any party. Next up is the Angel of Balance. This skill can either buff you and your party members or attack, dealing 520% damage to 12 enemies 12 times with each attack. And finally, Peacemaker. Turns out that killing your enemies also means that you're at peace, sort of. The skill sends a projectile that damages everything it touches, but there are 2 sides to this coin. As it doesn't only do damage, it also heals your party members. And finally, the skill explodes, dealing even more damage, and party members that see and touches the light gain a plus 5% damage buff, which increases depending on the contact count. Bossing with this class actually is not that bad. The 5th job skills definitely help a lot though. Make sure again to pop Infinity before you go bossing for that maximum damage output. The 3rd job skill, Holy Magic Shell, is also amazing. That skill defends you against 15 attacks. Easy bossing, here we come. I think I might actually convert my Ice Lightning Mage to a Bishop now. That are all class specific 5th job skills for the Explorer mages. I hope you enjoyed this video. Which 3 classes should we do next? Let me know in the comments. Thanks to our members for making this video possible. Thanks to Quin, Niels the Coninck, Raar, maar waar, Zenny, Chen125, Rarefum, Kroukur, ThePurpleFlurp and Pyroxius Gaming. If you would like early access to new videos and want to be mentioned here as well, check out the join button below this video. Thanks for watching, stay safe and happy mapling!